You know, I realized something. You have to control the controllables. Stop worrying about things that are out of your control. Hear me, it's not about controlling people, it's about controlling patterns. Let's talk about what it takes to be a man in command. I'm mic'd up. Join me, and let's mix it up. What's going on, family? How you doing? How you living? How's it going? What's happening? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, good people. Check this out. Need you to make sure that you hit the thumbs up button on this video. Come on, hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up button. Yes, yes, yes. Let's do that. Hit the subscribe button as well. Yeah, if you're new to this channel, if you're just returning, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, I don't want you to be a ghost follower. Come on, hit the subscribe button on this channel. We are talking about a man in command. Yeah. Come on, family, type that, man in command. I want to talk about how to control what controls you. How to control what controls you. And to a certain degree, a lot of us, we just want to try to control people. But what are you doing to control the patterns of what it is and where it is that you are in your life? Number one, I want to get into it. Let's jump right into it right now. I want to type this. Type break bad habits. Break bad habits. If you're going to be a man in command. Ladies, don't you want a man in command? Notice I didn't say a controlling man. Man in command doesn't control you. He controls his patterns. He controls himself. A man in command has self-control. How to control what controls you. Here's the thing. A lot of times depression is controlling us. A lack of acceptance is controlling us. Rejection controls us. Addictions control us. People's behavior controls us. Other people's emotions control us. It's time for you to get control of your life. You can't control what's out of your control. Stop trying to control what's out of your control. You know what's within your control? How you think. What's within your control? The words that you use. What's within your control? The actions that you take. What's within your control is how you live your life. That's what's in your control. How she acts, who she dates, what people say when they're not around you, what people do is not in your control. If something is not up to par with the boundaries, the standards, the principles that you live, then you make adjustments. I'm just a man making adjustments. That's what a rapper said. I make adjustments, but I don't have to control somebody to make adjustments. I'm focused on my patterns, not that particular person, and trying to manipulate, configure, and control who they are. The saying goes, because we're talking about number one, break bad habits. Family, type that, break bad habits if you haven't typed it. The saying goes, we are creatures of habit. To tell the truth, some of our habits are bad. Whether it's smoking, whether it's swearing, whether it's nail biting, whether it's stress eating, whether it is procrastination, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whatever addiction it may be, whether it is an addiction to gambling. Woo! Hello? What we have to do is we have to remedy it. You know what your bad habits are. You know what they are. Come on, let's be honest. You know what your bad habits are. Time to break the cycle. And here's the thing, 2 questions that you got to ask yourself if you're going to break the habits. Because, we easily say, oh yeah, break bad habits, break bad habits. Those habits are not good for you. Break them. Easier said than done. Everybody can't go cold turkey. A lot of people are struggling with the habits that they have, stinking thinking that keeps them sinking and sulking. 2 questions that you got to ask yourself. One is this: do I really want to break the bad habit? In your heart of hearts, when you're really being honest with yourself. Because here's the thing. If you'll be honest with yourself, you've gotten too comfortable. You really have. You don't mind being who you are. Even though you know there's more ahead for you. You've become sedentary in your particular habits to where you've gone rogue off the purpose of where it is that you're supposed to be. And here's what you have to realize. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. If you get complacent, you will get replaced. How bad do I really want to break the habit? That's the question that you got to ask and that you have to answer. So if it's yes, what sacrifice will I put in place? What am I going to do to actually see this vision of breaking this habit come to fruition? Because this is what we do. We say we're going to stop doing this, and then we revert back to it. We take 2 steps forward and we take 3 steps backward. Our word really is not our bond. We say one thing and we don't do another. We say one thing and we do another. We don't stand 10 toes down on what it is that we said. We acquiesce. And we never make progress. Come on, family, type progress. Type progress. Breaking the bad habit speaks to you holding yourself accountable. One is this: you got to ask yourself, how bad do I really want to break the habit? Secondly, here it is: what are the consequences? What are the consequences of not breaking the habit? If I don't do this, this is what happens. Consequences. What are the consequences of not breaking the habit? Because here's the thing, the habit has a hold on you. The habit is holding you back. The habit is hindering you. The habit is putting you under undue hardship. The habit is making your life hard. Harder than what it is. Harder than what it's supposed to be. What are the consequences of not breaking the habit? It can be easy about it. It can be easy listen. It can be easy to tell somebody. Break bad habits. But the best thing is, how do I replace the bad habit with a good one? That's where I want you to get your mind to. Because so many times when we want to break that bad habit, we're focusing on what it is that we're letting go. I want you to focus on what you're going to gain from letting go. Do you hear me talking to you? This is what, yes, I'm giving up, but this is what I get by giving up. Why? Because I'm replacing the bad habit with a good one. It's better on this side than it is right here. I'm not giving up to go back. I'm giving up to move forward. And I have to let something go so that I can grow. If the space shuttle is going to penetrate through the atmosphere, much less into the stratosphere, what does it have to do? It has to let go of the rocket boosters. The rocket boosters took me here. But guess what? I got to let go of that to get me here. You listen. The addiction, the pattern, the distraction. To a certain degree, it puts you in Delulu land. It makes you delusional to where you felt like, oh boy, I got here with it. Surely I can get here with that. No, you can't. You got to let it go while you're here, because you'll never get up here. Let go of those quote unquote rocket boosters. It only boosted you to a certain level. It only got you here. And in many cases, you were delusional, thinking that it was actually helping you to get to another level. No, it was hurting you. Imagine how farther and how higher you could go if you let it go. Did you hear what I'm just saying to you? Come on, family, type let it go. Imagine how higher you can go if you let it go. Imagine how much wiser you'll be if you let go of the foolishness. Imagine how much more you will grow if you let what's holding you go. Stop holding on to what's holding on to you. Come on, it's like the player who's a football player. He's a running back. Guy's trying to pull him down. He's dragging him by his jersey. He's pulling his shoulder off. And the man is going, he's stiff arming him. Get away from me, man. I got a goal that I got to reach. I got some place that I got to be. I got to stiff arm the addiction. I got to stiff arm the distraction. I have to break the bad habit, because hear me, if you don't break the bad habit is going to break you. Who am I talking to? I hope it's you. Break what's trying to break you. Family, I love this channel. It's not just my channel, it's our channel. Come on, family, type ours. It's our channel. It's a channel for change, the channel that creates change. It's a channel that breaks chains. I want you to become a member of our YouTube channel. Shout out to all the members in the chat. Love seeing your badges. If you haven't got a membership, go get one now. Link is in the chat. Tap the link in the chat. Link's in the description. Conversations like this one right here are why you need to be a member. Join the channel. Get a membership badge. We got 3 tiers. Cheers for 3 tiers. VIP, royalty, OQP. Membership has its privileges, such as membership discounts, such as content that you don't get here, that you only get over there in our membership area. Join me there. Get there. Tap the join button right now and be a part of our YouTube membership community. If you're not a member of our Equals community, you want to join that as well. It's where I coach, where I teach, where I train. I go farther and farther than where I am right here on the YouTube channel. I want you to join me there. Take a flight of faith into your future. Build, grow your greatness, develop your relationships, increase in your business, interpersonally, communicatively. Go right now, theeaglesacademy.com. Tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. Another thing, the link to my book, The Mask of Masculinity, is in the description of this video. Go ahead, get that book. You can get it on EddieConnor.com. Get a signed copy there, and you can also get it on Amazon. Family, hit the thumbs up button on this video. We're talking about, number 1, breaking bad habits. A man in command. Man in command. How to control what controls you. You got to break what's trying to break you. Easy to tell somebody to break the bad habit, but like I said before, you have to replace the bad habit with a good one. Now, I don't know if you ever have tried to break a bad habit. It's not always easy. I remember me. I was incessant, consistent, nail biter. Tough, nasty habit. Touching on doorknobs and shaking hands and all the type of stuff. And that stuff is going into, the recesses of your mouth. Nasty habit. By the grace of God, I was able to break it. Yeah, I took 2 steps forward, 3 steps back a lot of times. But I had to get to the particular place to where you were often talking to yourself. I'm not going to bite my fingernails, because I realized this. I was biting my fingernails due to the fact that I was worrying. I had to look at why it is that I was engaging in that particular behavior. That's what you got to do. You're dealing with an addiction, dealing with a frustration, dealing with a distraction, dealing with something that in many cases now becomes a bad habit in your life. You got to ask yourself the question, why am I doing this? What triggered me to XYZ? It was because I was stressed. It was because I was frustrated. It was because I was worried. It was because I was anxious. It was because even I procrastinated. Yeah. I was a notorious procrastinator. That was a bad habit to break. Such a notorious procrastinator that I waited in college till the final exam to read my whole anthropology book. Of course I didn't read it. I skimmed through it. I read the Cliff's Notes. So incensed. I was so upset with myself that I waited till the last day for finals to read the anthropology book. And I was so angry with myself that I threw the book against the wall in my dorm room. Because here's the thing. I couldn't be mad at nobody else but me. I had to take accountability because I dropped the ball. Because I waited to the last minute, thinking that I could perform as best and as good as I possibly could. And I did pretty good. I still got a B or so on the final. But guess what? I had to go through all of that mental exhaustion and mental frustration versus doing what I should do to prioritize so I didn't have to procrastinate. How long will it take to break the habit, you ask? Here it is. It depends on how bad you want to do it. Come on, family, type, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Why? Because you are the master of your mind. Control the controllables. Control what controls you. Man in command. You're in command of your own life. You're command of your own will and your emotions and your own particular volition. You are the master of your mind. Stop letting the habit master you. You can't serve two masters. You're going to either hate the one or you're going to love the other. You're going to hate the bad habit or you're going to love the good one. You're going to love the bad habit or you're going to hate the good one. Woo! Many of us have a habit of adopting bad habits. We have a habit of trauma bonding. We have a habit of being trapped by trauma and triggers. Stop letting the habit master you. Stop stopping. Quit quitting. Break what's trying to break you. Family, type break it. Break it. Many of you will be surprised at the habits that you're dealing with, your father dealt with. Many of you will be surprised that the habits that you're dealing with, your mother dealt with. Your grandmother, your grandfather. It goes back generational. Maybe it skipped a particular generation, but it showed up again in you. It's like a dominant and a recessive gene. It's affecting your chemistry. Oh, it might have been recessive in your mother, but now it's dominant in you. Might have been recessive in your father, but now it's dominant in you. You have to dominate what's trying to dominate you. Not talking about people, I'm talking about patterns. Think about this. On your computer, there is a Control-Alt-Delete button. And here's what it symbolizes. Not just something that you're typing. It's something about how you're transforming. There's a Control-Alt-Delete button. And here's what you have. You have the power to control your thoughts. You got to control your thoughts. Control. Alt for alternate. You have to alternate your lifestyle. Delete. You have to eventually delete the bad habit. Control your thoughts. Alternate your lifestyle. Delete the bad habit. Because here's the thing about control. Control is about mastering your mind and your emotions. Alt is about finding an alternative. What is the positive replacement for the bad habit? Delete is about removal. And here it is. I'm not returning to what I left behind. Family type, move forward. Stop returning to what you left behind. Stop giving CPR to dead relationships. Stop trying to resuscitate and revive and recycle what doesn't even need to be refreshed. I got a special message for you. In the midst of this special message, on the other side of this break, there's more breakthrough. Why? Because we're breaking bad habits today. We're controlling what tries to control us. You're going to be in command of your life. Stick and stay. After these messages, you know I'll be right back. Are you an author or aspiring author interested in building your book? Do you want to develop as a speaker and communicator? Listen, check out my array of solutions and systems, like my bestseller book blueprint and successful speaker strategies. Explore my tailor-made programs designed to nurture your purpose and grow your greatness in order to increase your ideas, your impact, and your influence. Visit us today at theeaglesacademy.com/store so you can soar. Yes, yes, y'all, and we don't stop. I want you to heed to those resources that you've heard. Let's get back to the word. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. Come on, family. We're having a courageous conversation right through here, up in here, up in here. Talking about a man in command, how to control what controls you. Yes. That's what we're talking about. We're having a super conversation. Drop a super chat. Drop a super sticker. HTC, Hard Truth Conversations. It's tight, but it's going to be all right. Control, Alt, Delete, as I was saying. Not returning to what you left behind. Forward ever, backward never. It's like what scripture says. A dog returning to its vomit. Isn't it interesting? Yeah, I remember my dog. God rest her soul. I guess you can say that. My dog, Princess. Princess didn't always act like a princess. Princess was a little rough around the edges. Brown spotted dog, about 55, 60 pounds. Keto chow mix. Remember, she had this purple tongue. It was just, she was unique. She's feisty, fierce, ferocious, even furious. And she would always return to, it looked like she was having a conniption or something like that. And then when she was getting ready to get rid of her food, for lack of a better word, body was just looking like it was having a seizure. And she would return back to what she left. I would try to stand in front of it. Move out the way. But she wanted to have her own way. And that's in many cases how we are. We're dogmatic about returning to something that we left behind. Get rid of it. Let it go. Why are you so dogmatic about returning to something that hurts you? Why are you so dogmatic about returning to something that keeps you in a place of hindrance? Why are you so dogmatic about return to something that keeps you and makes your life harder than what it's supposed to be? Here it is. Return to sender. Come on, family, type it. Return to sender. This is the wrong address. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. This doesn't belong here. You don't belong here. That attitude don't belong here. That pattern doesn't belong here. That behavior doesn't belong here. That bad habit doesn't belong here. Return to sender. Do you hear? Because I'm a man in command. I'm taking command. I'm taking authority over my life. That's what command is all about. I am the commander in chief of my own life. You're the CEO of your own life. You're the chief encouraging officer. You're the commanding encouraging officer of your own life. Come on, family, type CEO. Here it is. CEO is not just about having a business. CEO is about minding your business. And here's the thing. Some of us are going out of business because we ain't taking care of business. You know everybody else's business. And your business is fumbling. Your business, is fledgling. That's the word for the day. Yeah. That's what's happening. Simply because you are not doing what you're supposed to do. Control, Alt, Delete. Control what you can control. Alternate. Delete. Remove. Don't use bad habits as a crutch. Because here's the thing, just because you adopted the bad habit, just because you were introduced to the bad habit, doesn't mean you have to be a slave to the habit. Because here's the thing, chains are no longer metal, now they're mental. Stop saying, oh, this is just who I am, and this is how I'm supposed to be, and this is how the way it is, and I'm too old to change my patterns and my habits and my ways of living. Stop the negative self-talk. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. Your future or your funeral is on the tip of your tongue. Your words create your world. What you speak into the atmosphere will appear. You will have what you say. If you say you can or you can't, you're right. Stop using your bad habits as a crutch. Here it is to do what you want to do. That's in many cases what it boils down to. You just want to do what you want to do, so you're going to use the habits as a crutch for you. This is supposed to be not your limp year, but your leap year. Do you hear me? It's your leap year. How you going to leap this year if you keep limping based upon the bad habits that you have enacted, that you have not broken? We all got to work on something. We're all a work in progress. Stop engaging in what is mitigating your progress. It's your year. It's your year to leap. It's your time of accountability. It's your time of ownership. You got to take the steps to break the habits to build better ones. Family. Secondly, I want you to write this. Mental well-being matters. I'm talking about being a man in command. A man in command breaks bad habits. A man in command understands that his mental well-being matters. Your mental health is your wealth. Can't spell mental health without men heal. So often we focus on our body. We focus on our money. But what are you doing to pour into your mindset? Because here's the thing. The day-to-day issues that weigh on your mind, that has to be unpacked. It has to be processed. A lot of times, what is this? What do we do? We just stay on the grind. And here's the thing about the grind. That type of stay on the grind mindset, grind, all it does, grind means to wear down. There is really no positive connotation at all to the word grind. None whatsoever. Grind means to wear down. And here's the thing, we just worn ourselves down because we have not taken the time to focus on our mental health and our well-being. We don't take the breaks, the necessary breaks that we need to take. And here's the thing, we just want to hit the brakes, and all of a sudden it's a boom. We just break down. We don't break through. We didn't even take a break for ourselves. We didn't refresh our minds. We didn't put ourselves on our schedule. Hear me, you can't pour from an empty cup. And too many of us are trying to pour into people who have holes in their cup. You only got a couple of droplets left. Got to reflect. Got to connect. Why? Because manhood and masculinity is not just a destination, it's a journey. And here's the thing, it's a journey of reflection. It's a journey of reflection because I have to foster a mental connection. I have to think about what I'm thinking about. I have to ask myself the critical questions. Got to be a critical thinker in the chaotic world. I have to ask why more enough. Got to ask why more. Got to reflect on my mental and my emotional well-being. And here's the thing. We have to make sure that we surround ourselves with the people or the right types of those individuals and professionals in certain industries where it can be profitable for our well-being. Sometimes we need to talk to a coach. Sometimes we need to talk to a counselor. Sometimes we need to make sure that we talk to a therapist or a mentor or an accountability partner. Men need mentors. You can't even spell men without mentor. You can't spell mentor without men. Mentorship is not just from boys being mentored by men or men mentoring boys. Mentorship is men mentoring men. How do you handle a divorce? How do you handle trying to love the woman that God gave you, the spouse in your house? How do you handle relationships? How do you handle? What do you do to build your business? What do you do when now, in many cases, maybe you're feeling as if you're going through a midlife crisis? What do you do when in many cases you're overworked but underrested? What do you do? You gotta have mentors. Why do scripture says this? In the multitude of counselors there is safety. Mentors provide a safe space and place for you to emote, for you to be able to unpack what it is, the heaviness of what it is that you've been carrying, without anybody judging you. Simply because you're more than just a human doing, you're a human being. You're not just Superman, you're Clark Kent. You're not just some caricature. You really got real character. And what we are dealing with, the emotional incarceration, the psychological pain that we never processed, that we never unpacked, because we were taught to just be so tough and so strong for so long and just grind and just wear down while still trying to wear a crown. And so because of that, you're easily combustible. You blow a mental gasket. You dare not even enunciate. You dare not even enunciate, much less announce that you're tired. Because real men, quote unquote, quote unquote, the supermen, the tough guys, never say that they're tired. But what do you do when you're tired of being tired? What do you do as a man when you're just so frustrated? What do you do when you gotta be strong for everybody else and everybody just expects you to be strong for yourself? Who's strong for you? Even the encourager needs to be encouraged sometimes. Yeah, you drop 50 at the gym. Drop 50 points playing hoops. You still want to be told good game. Because here it is. Every man wants to know. And one of our deepest cries as a man, whether you realize it or not, and our queens need to realize this, is, do you see me? Do you hear me? Do you respect me? Do you value me? Let me say it again. Queens, you need to recognize this. This is one of the urgent cries within a man's mind that in many cases, sometimes he doesn't even know how to verbalize. Do you see me? Do you hear me? Do you respect me? Do you value me? And oftentimes we're afraid of being judged. We're afraid of being seen as less than a man. Because here it is. It's not cool. It's not popular. It's not manly to seek support. What you asking for help for? You're supposed to have all the answers. You're supposed to have it all figured out, from the womb to the tomb. Furthest thing from the truth. A know-it-all really knows nothing at all. And here's the thing. Even strong men struggle. We got to discover our truth. We got to tap into our transparency. We got to tap into the heart of hearts with our vulnerability. Because here's the thing. We really discover our truth while processing our trauma and our triggers. True mental health happens when us as men heal. When we do the hard work, because the hard work is the heart work. And heart work is hard work. It's hard to address your traumas. It's hard to address your triggers. It's hard for you to keep it real with you sometimes. We know how to paint the picture and the portrait as a person and in our persona. And in the erudite eloquence, which in many cases is a mask for arrogance. But when you strip away all the money, when you strip away all the cars, when you strip away all the clothes, when you strip away all the relationships, when you strip away all of the acclaim, when you strip away all the fame, when you strip away the houses, when you strip away the investment, when you strip away this, when you strip away that, when you strip away the clothes, when you strip away all of that stuff, who are you at your core at the end of the day? And here it is. When you strip all of that, you find a hurting boy, shaking, trembling, worrying, cold, seemingly uncared for, debilitated, not affirmed, feeling unloved. That's oftentimes the horrors that haunt us when we unmask us. Yeah, the fears, the father wounds, the failures, the frailties, the frustrations, the finite aspects of what being a man is all about. Come on, family, type freedom. I believe even as I'm talking, as I'm speaking to you, God has given you freedom from emotional incarceration. Yeah, the things that have locked you up. The bad habits. The things that have blockaded your mental health. The things that in many cases have kept you in a prison without bars. One of the tragedies is to go to prison. Especially many of our brothers are there on nonviolent offenses. Tragedy is go to prison and then come out and still be in prison. Prison without bars. Because here it is, you didn't control what controlled you. Nobody taught you how to be a man in command. You learned how to be a male who makes demands. But who really taught you how to be a man in command? The man who manages, the man who maintains, the man who manifests, the man who uses God's manual because he has a mandate, the man who will not be manipulated by an addiction, by a person, by a pattern, but will be in command to say, I'm going to be free from this emotional incarceration. I'm going to be free by unpacking my generational traumas, my intergenerational trauma. Going to be free. Because he who the Son has set free is free indeed. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give God what it is that seemingly is holding on to me. I'm going to let go of what holds on to me because I'm going to cast my cares on him. I'm going to be a spiritual man. Know how to be a fleshly man. But it's about you being a spiritual man. And hear me, being that spiritual man is about you tapping into your spirit man. Getting command over your emotions, getting command over your habits, getting command over what's trying to get command over you, getting command over what's trying to control you so that you can move into a place of freedom. It costs you something to be free. Freedom ain't free. Freedom is about what you're willing to sacrifice. Hear me. This is what I'm willing to give up in order to become. Come on, family, type become. I'll never become if I'm bound by my habits, my bad habits. I'll never become if I'm confused in my mind. I'll never become unless I break what the enemy is using to break me. Brothers, I want you to pray. God is doing something in your spirit. Sisters, I want you to pray for our brothers. Because here's the thing, sometimes the anointing on your life attracts attacks. And I pray right now, God, in Jesus' name, that you cover every brother who's watching. You cover every queen who loves our kings. That he walks in his royalty, that he walks in dominion, because you created him to have dominion. You created him to be a man in command. And so we come against every addiction. We come against every intergenerational trauma that even though he's in his 50s, he still feels as if he's 5. Even though he's in his 60s, he still feels as if he's 6. Even though he's in his 30s or his 40s, he still feels as if he's 3 or 4. God, grow him up right now. Mature him. And when he was a child, he spoke as a child. He understood as a child. He thought as a child. But as he is a man now, empower him to put away childish things. And so we thank you for moving him into a place of controlling, alting, deleting, controlling what is trying to control him, alternating his lifestyle to live as a kingdom man that you have resurrected him to be a mature man, and to delete what is deleterious to his destiny. I speak freedom over his mind right now. It's coming out of abuse, coming out of captivity, coming out of addiction, coming out of poor habits, coming out of rogue behavior. I command you to be the husband that God created you to be, the king that God created you to be, the man, the son, the brother, the uncle, the businessman, the minister, the professor, the pastor, the innovator, the creator, the producer, the film director, the community cultivator of what it is that God has created and crafted you to be. You are free from to be free for. You're free from depression to be free for joy. You're free from abuse to be of use. You're free from low self-esteem to be free for the God kind of confidence. A man with vision, a man with purpose, a man with promise, a man with potential, a man in command. In Jesus' name. Come on, if you believe it, just type victory for it. Yeah, if you believe it, type victory for it. If you believe it, type victory for it. God's doing something in you. Why? Because he wants to do something through you. Greater is he that's within you than he that's in the world. Family, I want you to sow into this word that you've heard. Sow where you grow, sow where you soar. As a super chat, as a super sticker, this has been a super conversation. Too many women are saying, too many women are crying out that they're being prepared for unprepared men. And look at what God is doing. God is preparing him for you. A prepared man. A prepared husband, a prepared spouse, a prepared king who is a keenly intelligent, noble gentleman. Family, I want you to sow via electronic medium of Cash App, $ Access Identity, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr, gmail.com. Super chat, super sticker. I want you to sow your seed, and as you're sowing your seed, I want you to name your seed. Maybe you're naming your seed breaking bad habits. Maybe you're naming your seed truth. Maybe you're naming your seed transformation. Maybe you're naming your seed healing. Maybe you're naming your seed mental health. Maybe you're naming your seed restoration. Maybe you're naming your seed miracles, signs, and wonders. I don't know what you're naming your seed, but I believe that your seed will meet your need. What it is that you're believing for, I believe God's going to do that and more. 30, 60, 100-fold, exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you can ask or think. Not giving grudgingly, nor of necessity, but God loves a cheerful giver. Give cheerfully. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super sticker. Links are in the bio. Links are in the description, rather. Links are in the chat. Yes, indeed. Family, I hope this conversation empowered you. Did it? Did it? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. You can let me know by hitting the thumbs up button on this live. Yeah. Hit the thumbs up button. The thumbs up button, family. If you're not a part of our Eagles community, join. Come on, my brother, join us. My sister, join us. Eagles, drop some eagle emojis in the chat. Become a part of our Eagles community, equals Empowered Authentically Gifted Leaders Envisioning Success. That's the acronym. This isn't just a community, it's a launching pad to soar into greater success and purpose. We give you strategy, structure, solutions, and systems to take your vision to another dimension, sharpening your mindset, your skill set, your tool set, to become an asset in any particular environment. Take a flight into your future with us. It's time to soar. Spread your wings to win in our Eagles community. Go right now, theeaglesacademy.com. It's where our coaches, where our teachers, where our trainers, my private mentoring group, my private coaching group. You're part of it. So many other gifted leaders in industry, cultivators and communicators and innovators. Theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button, fill out the form, and I guarantee you will be transformed. If you're not a part of our membership for our YouTube channel, you want to do that. I'm talking about everything from words of motivation to meal plans. I got the whole gamut covered. And I'm not sharing it here. It's only for our members. Membership has its privileges. Get privileged simply by unlocking any of the tiers: VIP, Royalty, OQP, members only discounts, exclusive behind the scenes footage and content. It's a growing and glowing community of quality people. You're a quality person. Join us there. If you don't have the book, my book, The Mask of Masculinity, go ahead and get that. The link is in the description. You can get my book at EddieConnor.com. You get a signed copy there. You can also get the book on Amazon. How Men Can Reclaim Their Identity, Lead, and Love with Vulnerability. A book for our kings and the queens who love us. Maybe you're wondering, as a woman, sis, how do you create a safe space and place for a man to be vulnerable? The answer's in the book. Go get it. Family in the Mix is out of time, but I am not out of truth. And so I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I want to thank you for rolling with me. Why? Because that's just how we roll. We do that each and every single Monday through Friday, every weekday, right here on the YouTube channel. You know where it is. You know who it is. And of course, I want you to make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Don't be a ghost follower. Hit the subscribe button on this channel. I'm growing your greatness. Help me to grow my channel. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button, but also by hitting the thumbs up button. Thumbs up this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on all social sites: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop at EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. If I can help you, if I can serve you in any way, please reach out to me. Looking for a speaker, looking for a dynamic speaker. Look no further. I'll be the man in command. I'm the man with the plan. Choose me, select me, invite me to speak at your men's conference, your conference in general, your church, your session, your school, your workshop, your community center, whatever's clever. Your graduation. Let's make some progression. Yeah, let's make some progression. Invite me. I would be glad to empower you. Yours truly, Dr. Eddie. And you say, well, how do I invite you? Email me. I must say that. info@eddieconnor.com. Yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother. And I mean that from another mother. Family has been fun, but brother gotta run. But I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter, peace, and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher. Let's soar beyond my YouTube channel. If you want something that goes beyond here, you're in for a treat. I have a private mentorship group where I coach, where I teach, and I provide live Q&A insight in our interactive breakout sessions. It's where I challenge you with innovative exercises to develop your skill set. And I provide feedback to foster your growth. We break it all down to build you up in our private Zoom room as we focus on transformative topics with accountability partners who really desire to grow their greatness by soaring into success and greater purpose. Come on, Soar to new heights with us in our Eagles Academy. Get your wings to win. And let's soar into more at the Eagles Academy.